Hi guys, welcome to virtual class. Before we get started, I want to clarify some terminology. A lot of us were asking, what's the difference between SARS-2 and COVID-19? Great questions. SARS-2 is the virus that causes the disease, COVID-19. So another example of this could be HIV is the virus that causes the disease, AIDS. In order for a person to come down with COVID-19, this virus has to enter their body through ears, eyes, nose, mouth, any other openings like cuts and abrasions in the skin. It targets the areas where gas exchange occurs, the alveoli. So when we inhale, oxygen in the air is coming down through our airways into the tiny balloon-like structures where gas exchange occurs, the alveoli. It's important that the membranes of the alveoli remain flexible because when we inhale, they're going to expand a little bit, and when we exhale, they're going to contract or decrease in size. What SARS virus does, SARS-2, is when it comes into contact with the cells of the lungs, it starts to kill them. And what ends up happening is the alveoli start to fill with fluid. Okay, this is like an immune response is happening. Your body is sending in all sorts of white blood cells to try to help a damaged alveoli. And so these alveoli start to fill up with fluid. When they're filled with fluid, they're no longer able to expand and contract. They become inflexible. This makes breathing extremely hard because the job of the alveoli is gas exchange. I have a picture of an alveoli. Oxygen comes into the alveoli and oxygen then diffuses to the capillaries, these tiny blood vessels that surround every single one of our cells, so that the blood can then transport this oxygen to all of your cells. And remember, oxygen is a very important ingredient for making energy for your body to stay alive. Essentially, what's happening with the SARS virus attacking the alveoli, and the alveoli are filling with fluid, they're becoming inflexible, and the person's oxygen levels start to decrease dramatically, and they go into something that's called ARSD, acute respiratory distress syndrome. 80% of the population that contracts SARS-2 are going to be fine. They might have mild symptoms, they might have a little bit more severe symptoms, but they're not going to get to the point of where they're going to need to be on a ventilator. Why do we need to be on a ventilator? Well, when this happens and we aren't getting enough oxygen into our body, we start gasping for air. We're essentially suffocating. And when we start gasping for air all the time, this muscle gets very tired. And when it gets tired, it can no longer function so that we get enough oxygen into our body. And so what a ventilator does is it breathes for you when you don't have the energy or the strength to breathe. It takes over the job of this diaphragm. The amount of people that are contracting SARS-2 is enormous. And so when we're seeing numbers in the thousands flooding hospitals, needing ventilators, we don't have that equipment, and that's what you might be seeing in the media with hospitals asking the government to send them more ventilators. Thank you so much for watching today. A few next steps. Please post any comments and/or questions you have about coronavirus under this video or on Google Classrooms. Don't miss out on any future videos that I post on Instagram. Follow at Ms.Mancini on Instagram. And lastly, if you found this video helpful, please share it with friends and family. Let's get the word out. Let's all be informed. We're better together. As always, stay safe, wash your hands, and social distance.